Samsung has once again made fun of Apple, but this time it has gone wrong. We all know that Samsung in many advertising campaigns usually tries to mock Apple and try to somehow attract users who have been very loyal to this company. This new commercial is called Simon Says, making a reference to a game where someone says something and everyone else must follow. So the commercial starts by saying, "Simon says, renew again." And a person appears clearly holding an iPhone box in a row and says, "What's new?" A person in the back says to him, "Who cares?" making a reference to the fact that many Apple users renew their cell phone without even asking what's new. Then someone not in line unfolds his Galaxy Z Fold, where, by the way, he's looking at a Galaxy ring. And then a woman is walking around with Galaxy Buds 3 and Blade lights. So those in line are looking at these Samsung users in amazement and disappointment at the same time. Next, Simon says, "Limit your choices." And then you see a person speaking in Spanish, and through their Galaxy Z Flip 6, the translation is done. And with the external flip screen, the translation is seen in text. And interestingly, in that translation, they tell him, "You only have apples." Again, referencing Apple. So since he only has apples, he better go somewhere else. The commercial ends by saying, "Simon says many things. Samsung says do what you want." So far so good. But the final sentence is what is making this commercial backfire on Samsung. Since the phrase says, "No one should wait for innovation," in this case making a reference to Apple Intelligence seeing a delay from the initial iPhone launch and announcement. Although it is a commercial aimed at the United States, and in the United States Apple Intelligence is already available. So from there we got off to a bit of a bad start. However, even though this commercial is aimed at the US, we are in the internet age, so the whole world is watching this commercial. And we wonder, Samsung, how can you brag about innovation if you've had the same camera for generations, if you've had the same design for generations, several generations with the same charging power. Meanwhile, we see several generations with the same battery. Meanwhile, we see Chinese manufacturers increasing the battery capacity without increasing the thickness, increasing the charging power, increasing the resolution of the telephoto camera, and many more things. So no, Samsung, you can't brag about innovation this time. In the commercial, it is understood that they are talking about Galaxy AI. And in that sense, Samsung is innovating and was one of the pioneers that somehow made everything that has to do with artificial intelligence in cell phones fashionable. But I think many of us who have used Samsung for a long time agree that Samsung has slowed down a lot, has stopped innovating as it did in the beginning, where it was usually one of the pioneers in presenting interesting developments at the hardware level. Lately, they have focused only on software improvements, completely forgetting the hardware. So from here, we make an attentive call to Samsung to please start innovating in hardware as well before bragging and before campaigning against Apple. For your attention, thank you very much.